Okay, you guys. So let's get down. Let's get down to the details. I was about to say nitty gritty, but I know there are a lot of people here whose native language is not English. So just to let you know, I do adjust my choice of words slightly. Not completely, but it's better to speak slowly and be understood than and understand the programming concepts, as well as practice a little English at the same time, than miss something, than to go too quickly or speak too quickly, or use strange phraseology or strange vocabulary and miss things. Right? Okay. All right. So. Now, please bear in mind also, I'm going to put a link to this down in the description so that you can copy it. You can get this code right away for free, all of it. So you don't have to type all of this out. I recommend that you do it as if you're new to PHP or you're new to web development, new to programming. I do recommend that you do some of the typing out directly. It can be really helpful at the start in terms of really getting the basics down, right? Getting the basics down. All right. So you remember we have created a new variable, and we're going to bind it to our SQL statement, right? We've modified our prepared statement. Here's our SQL statement. And okay, now what I'm doing here is, all right, so I use I'm going to go over you guys remember this from my other video. Okay, you remember that from my other video. Now, what is this? Okay, what is this thing here? That will return, this is like a constant. This is from PHP. I did not create this myself. This right here, it will tell you the present directory of this script. Okay, this upload.php, this particular script file, right, it exists in this directory. And what's more, you can see here, it exists in, if we look at the whole, you can see there, applications, MAMP, htdocs, okay, it goes all the way out, and this is the actual full the full file path of this particular script, okay? So no matter where you put it, no matter where you put this particular script, for example, after you upload it to your server, we are going to be able to locate the images folder. Oh yeah, I've created a new folder. I call it uploaded pics folder. Okay, it's right next to the images folder. All right, and if we look here, here's upload. So it's on the same level. Our upload script. It's on the same level as the uploaded pics folder. Right. So that's where we're gonna put those pictures. And so what I did was I combined this with, right, I joined it together with upload pics. And you can tell this is a directory, this is a folder because of the slash, right? And we're going to stick on the end there a final picture name, okay? A final picture name. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's try it here. Okay, you can see here, I've got a picture in my applications, MAMP, htdocs, University of PHP, uploaded pics, and sure enough, I've got a picture here. And they're going to be, from a realistic perspective, this would be a picture of a face, right? Because we've got all our friends here, first name, last name, and now we're going to create a picture of our friend. Maybe this would be employees or whatever, but so at any rate, but just for practice, we're gonna use any kind of graphic, right? Okay. So, and what I'm doing, I'm echoing that out to the screen just so you guys can see that. And that's a good technique to check what variables are. And so, okay, so I called this variable destination, all right? And this is flexible, right? So I'm going to be able to upload this to, maybe up at my server, this name will change. It will not be applications, htdocs, University of PHP. Maybe we're going to put this, we might put this file anywhere. That's going to change, and we want to be flexible enough to accommodate those changes. So, I've echoed out the final destination. Okay, now what's this? If files pick1 error is 0, then we're going to do all of this. Okay, right? We're going to do everything in between those two brackets. We're going to do that. And sometimes I like to just keep that up there. All right. So what this is, in PHP, this is the files array. And it will be generated by this input tag right here, input type file. You guys remember that. If you include this, and the user, there will be sent to your script up on your server a files array, and we called ours pick1. And this, again, it's an associative array. It's also what's called a multi-dimensional array. If the error is 0, then we know that, okay, good, there hasn't been any problem, and we want to do something with our picture. So the first thing is, I created this function called refurbish. And the word refurbish, you guys, it just means like to change or to fix up or to modify, because we might want to change the name of the picture. As a matter of fact, we probably do. So in the files array, there is also a name. Okay, right? Now where does that name come from? Let's say I choose a file, anything, right? Like let's say, well, let's just pick here, DigitalOcean, this kind of thing over here. All right, do getting set up .png. So there's our name. Whoopsie daisy. So whoops. Well, yeah. Okay. All right. So there's our name right down there, and that is going to be contained right there. Okay. We can access it right there. And what we're going to do, I'm going to put it together with this is pick1, and then we're going to assign this the variable pick1. But what we're doing is we're calling this function refurbish, and I put that function all the way down here at the bottom of my page. There's my last HTML. I put it down here to kind of get it out of the way, and it takes something that it takes a parameter called file name string. So I just called it that, and then we're going to refer to it that way inside of this function. And what did I call it up here? What did I call it when we did it? Refurbish. Well, I passed a string, right? And I don't need to call it by its name as it's defined down in the function. I can just pass it a string, and then after it does its work, and after we do the things we're going to do there, it will be returned into picture 1. Okay, so what are we going to do? Well, actually, we're going to do a lot of things. So just so we can check, And we'll take these out later, okay? With these echo statements, we'll take these out later, but I just want to show you guys so you can get a sense. So here is the file name string sent to the function, so we'll just check on it. Now here's a PHP function called path_info, and what this does is it splits up a particular file name into different parts, right? So one of the parts, so when I have my string there, when you use this function, it will split a string into an array. So this right here is actually an array, and I'm going to take, here it's an associative array, and it has one of the elements in the array is called extension. Okay, so I'm going to grab that part out. I'm going to grab that part and I'm going to put it in a variable called extension. Now you guys may know, right? This is the extension .png, but what it will return is just PNG. If this was a JPEG file, it would be JPG or JPEG. If this were a video file, it would be maybe MP4 or something like that, or an MPEG, right? So it gets the extension, all right? And I echo out, here's the extension, just so we can see it. And I'm going to use the switch statement to determine what kind of file this is. Is this a JPEG file, this kind of JPEG, a PNG, a TIFF, a GIF? So we will accept this, accept this, accept this, accept this, but anything else, we don't want to upload it. Maybe they're going to upload some malicious file, okay, some other kind of executable file. We don't want that. So we're going to check, and if it's a JPEG, then we're going to assign .jpeg to extension. Okay, because actually this name parts here, it does not include the dot. Okay, you guys, so be careful. It does not include the dot. So you need to check for this, check for that. All right, and then we'll break out of the switch statement after we find out what kind of file it is, right? Now here we have a default. If it is not one of these, okay, then we're going to call it bad extension. Okay, and okay, so that way we are going to eliminate to some degree the possibility that they could, we're going to kind of destroy the file. We're going to destroy or stop their attempt to upload some strange type of file. Now, in a future video, I'm going to show you more security practices that you can use for PHP. Additional security practices, okay? So this is just a start. Next, we're going to use Substring, another PHP function. And what this does is it takes a string and it starts at 0. So if this were my string together, and I start at 0, it returns part of a string. For example, it starts at 0, and that is this. This is 0. This is, whoopsie daisy. The O is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here I start at 0 and I go 4. Okay, so I'd get the first 4 letters. So in our case it'll be pick 1, and I call that crop file name string, and then I put that onto the extension. Wait a minute. File name string, crop string, extension. Oh yeah. Okay. So then what I did was this, because we don't want the we don't want people uploading files and pictures that have the same name. So I need some way of creating some random value and maybe a meaningful value. So I'm going to create a date. the present date. And you can see here that this is the year 2017, April 11th, and then this part is the time. Okay? So no matter what happens, there's just no possibility that we are going to upload and name two photos the same name. No matter what, for certain, they will have different names, right? So how do you make a date and time? We'll get the date and time zone. I call it TZ. This will create a date time zone object, okay? Just copy this code exactly, okay? And here is a new date time, and we pass it the time zone, okay? And we ask for now, and so that's DT. And then here, we use this method to format year, month, date, hour, okay. And so now we have this string of time. And we just add our file name string onto it. There's our file string, and we return it at the end of our function. And remember, it returns back to the place where it was called. Here's our function, refurbish. It returns back all the way right here. And it assigns that name to pick one. Now we go over to this fun part here. We're going to move the uploaded file. And what is this here, huh? This, you think, what file is this? So we're moving this file here, and we haven't seen this before, but PHP, when you upload a file, it goes and takes it and puts it in a temporary directory, and it gives it its own special temporary name, a random name, and we're going to take that and we're going to move it and give it our own name, our own destination. So here I took the destination, and I put it in, and I attached pick one to it, and then we're going to move this file here into this final full location, this name, right? So here I echoed out the temporary name of the file given by PHP before we rename it and move it. And that's temp name. So this way, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what these values are. All right, and sometimes if there's a problem, this is a very good way to debug it by printing out your variables to the screen so you can look at them. And here, the full final file path of the uploaded pic, destination pick one. Okay. Then we're going to execute it. All right, and we're going to say, hey, tell us the name, tell us the, send back to us the friend ID, the unique ID, the insert ID, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, so you can see 16. That's because I've been adding some records and deleting them. Okay, I've been adding and deleting, right? Okay. All right, well, let's do it here. Upload. Okay, we'll call him, no, let's not do that. I forget if I, what was, I forgot if I included that there was some code where I checked the name and we got rid of it. I don't remember if I still have it, but all right. All right, let's choose a new picture, whatever. All right. Now, first let's check this. The most important thing is this. Aha, good. So we did make an insert. Now, let's take a look down here. Here is what the dr variable is reporting. Okay. So if we want to check in our code here, right there's a DR. And you should know that this is underscore. There are two underscores there, okay? So the full area, upload a picture, okay. So this is the full destination. All right, there was the name of our picture. There's the extension. The temporary name of the file given before we move it. So you guys remember here, this is pretty key. If you guys look here, there's the temporary name of the file, okay, as it's uploaded before we have moved it. All right, and it puts it here. This is where it puts it in this temp directory, PHP, and then it gives it a random name. This part's random, and the full and final path of the uploaded pic is right here, okay. And all right, in the next one we'll take a look at, in the next video we're going to display these pictures, and we're going to use kind of a trick to do that, and you'll get how that works in just a moment.